Hi, I'm DDS Arkham, and this will be my thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2, developed by Rockstar Studios and played on the Xbox One X. In preparation, I played the main story to completion, totaling nearly 50 hours of gameplay.
Any luck? I found a place where we can get some shelter.
Let's start with the story. The game takes place in 1899, 12 years before the events of the previous game. You take control of Arthur Morgan, a lieutenant of the Dutch Vanderlyn gang after a job gone wrong causes the gang's downward spiral we heard about in the first game. Arthur turns out to be a fantastic and somehow relatable protagonist. He sees everything that happens and goes wrong to the gang and tries his best to stop it. He's a man who has done some questionable things in his life, but he does his best to be a good man to the people he loves. The members of the game include some familiar faces from the first game, including old protagonist John Marston. They even expand the backstories of all these characters. There are many more characters the game introduces into the gang as well, and each of them are just as interesting and entertaining as the others. Watching the whole fallout of the gang is entertaining from the first chapter to the last, though the last few chapters drag on a tiny bit too long. This story plays out in one of the most impressive open worlds ever released. A major criticism of the first game I had was that it felt empty at times, which definitely does not happen here in this game. There's so much stuff to do in this massive world, whether it's hunting or helping the random strangers that stop you on the street, or you could just rob a train for old time's sake. Rockstar has always been experts at world building and storytelling, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is no different.
Poor bastards. We really screwed them over down here. Come on, let's not push our luck.
What happened?
Well, get in. I'll tell you.
To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Rockstar's current gunplay, as the single dot aiming is something I always found too finicky and harder to aim. While I think it's long past due for Rockstar to innovate their gunplay, Red Dead 2 still represents the best from a Rockstar game. What impresses me about it is small things Rockstar has done to make the game more authentic to the time period. You have to pull the trigger on your controller again after firing a bullet in order to recock the weapon. And you also have to clean your weapon after a while, or else your weapon will lose some more important stats, though it's not as dramatic as you may think it is. Deadeye returns from the first game as well, receiving a slight upgrade. Red Dead Redemption 2 also had something of a survival system added as well. There are meters that appear above your minimap which gauge how fast your health, stamina, and Deadeye will recharge. In order to fill these meters back up, you need to do things in the world like eat or sleep at camp or on the road, otherwise it will be difficult to heal faster or recover stamina quickly. I found myself not a fan of this system at all, as I found it took a lot away from my experience, especially when during my playthrough I had Arthur really underweight, which affected these meters negatively. I just found that they got in the way of playing through the game and was a constant pain in what was otherwise a decent gameplay experience.
Open the window. Ready for you. Goddamn bastard, you're dead now!
Hands down, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best looking game I have ever played. The graphics and lighting complement each other to give us some of the best visuals in a game to date. Those are accompanied by some great animations which convey some of the best facial animations I've seen in a game. The game's sound design is also excellent, best shown in gunshots echoing in the game's various mountains or valleys. Woody Jackson returns as composer from the first game and once again delivers an outstanding soundtrack, capable of capturing the current mood of the story while also giving that classic Western sound. Though it's the smaller details that may impress me the most while being subtle, like snow slowly gathering on an animal's carcass stowed away on my horse. It's things like this that shows why Rockstar is so respected, because they can release a technical powerhouse like Red Dead 2 with nary a fault.
Gang, but Dutch. You know, Dutch is different. Oh yes, Dutch is certainly different.
Rockstar once again delivers an extraordinary experience only they could. While some issues with the gameplay drag the game down a bit in my mind, its excellent story and mind-blowing technical capability just gives us one of the best games in recent memory.
Here? What's going on? I'm going aboard. Make that quick and join us on there. Go on! Get on there!